We now address in our solution video series the data model and architecture underlying how we collect data from the actual machines on the shop floor. If we look at the detail of the data collection model in itself, we start with the machine, and we can start with the Universal Machine Interface, the AX9150, connected directly to the actual machine in itself. Our operator interface is the MX2000 human machine interface. And what we see is that we can connect 8 different digital inputs, and with our newer boards up to 24 different digital inputs, 3 to 30 volt DC sourcing or syncing type of inputs that we can pull out and work with directly from the actual machine. So we can know in-cycle times, down times, E-stops, M00s, door ajar, any potential issues that we can pick up in terms of signals even from stacked lights or lights on the actual panel in itself. We also can produce digital outputs to drive aspects such as stack lights, such as palletizers, such as robots that need to load the particular machine. Those can be driven from our digital outputs that are directly on the board. We also can keep track of serial device data, in fact 3 particular serial ports on board the board, so we can connect, and multiple ones with some of our other connections. So we can connect barcode readers, HMIs, all kinds of other different device data that needs to be connected directly into the machine. As well, we can accept analog inputs and then treat those analog inputs for connecting directly from the machine. And as well, we have an operator stimulus that keeps track of from the operator interface, the HMI, as well as barcode scanning, as well as RFID capabilities, all built in at the board. So you see, this Universal Machine Interface really captures an immense amount of information directly at the machine and is really your portal into the machine environment. In addition to all this, we have a software package called AXDNC for CNC program loading and transferring and morphing, and it's a two-way link to be able to download programs and upload programs in terms of changes from the operator and so on. And that is automatically synchronized with our main overall systems, so again you're into the network where you can access the DNC capabilities and work with it. In addition to that, we have our configurable adapter, which is AXConfig, and we'll spend a lot more time in terms of the detail of this secret sauce in terms of how it works and configures the signals that come from the board, very similar to what a PLC would do, but in this case it's a packaged toolkit to make it easy to work with, no specialized programming. Any end user, any maintenance person on the shop floor could be able to access this toolkit and configure exactly the signals they get from the machine. The trick in this particular data traffic manager is it really is the whole configuration and setup and then managing all the data that goes through in relation to that machine. It could also be OPC client data as well as MT Connect data. So once that signals are conditioned and it's appropriate, send it back up into the network to the data consumer layer. And at the data consumer layer, we can then transport that through to a real-time SQL database as well as a historical SQL database for historical reporting and keeping track of all the information again of the machines. Applications on the data consumer layer include our AXOE dashboard software, our event historian, our email event server, and as well you could have OPC server information, MT Connect server information, our ERP connection, which is a bi-directional connection to any ERP system that's out there, and as well you could access any other types of applications, manufacturing execution systems, ERP, and so on that could be out there, any of your other applications that you may want to get to. The trick here is once we've configured the data at the actual AXConfig layer, we can then send that out towards the network to be able to be processed and utilize that information in an effective fashion. In terms of more details, simply put, we have a human machine operator interface. We have our Universal Machine Interface. It accepts serial device data, digital inputs, digital outputs, real-time shop floor portal, all kinds of information that can be sent through and communicated with, and of course our overall AXConfig configurable adapter that allows the overall communication, transfer the metadata, and configure all communication settings.